I mean, like I say, basically Rodney sat me down in a chair and just started, after they found out and everything, and they were pretending to be nice, and I knew they were going to do something to me. Um, as soon as I became a human or whatever, basically I was found or whatever, and then because they were after me, they wanted to take me out and kill me or give me the time of my life in a negative way, basically. They were after me from the beginning. Well, they've been after me like they were attacking my colonies. They were attacking my group for like probably 100 million years. I mean, mostly Jimmy Carter and JFK were the ones who were really after me. Don't ask me why. I mean, they're just sick people. So Rodney was more of a secondary after me, but Rodney was the first one I think I saw, and he was basically just screaming into my face, basically being their little, whatever. Maybe it was the drugs or something. I don't know. Like I said, it's very easy to lie to someone and to tell them that and to tell them something that's not true or whatever. Anyway, though he was harassing me first, but then later on, or I got I got. I mean, I took care of JFK and also had killed Jimmy Carter robot people and basically fixed everything. Um, I was really powerful. I mean, I was basically like an AI with lots of life forms around me. So, and they were thinking I was a person or something or some sort of like person like you would tell your men to go and attack something or to conquer things. Like they thought I was like some sort of like drug dealer or just a person that would tell people things like everybody else. They thought I was like a president and I ordered my staff to go do things so they could like somehow get in there and bribe my staff to kill me or something like that. And I wasn't. I was a lot more directly you know, like I think or I did give commands and then they do. And that's the way it worked. So there wasn't. So they were really kind of like trying to come after me, going using the wrong methods or whatever. They didn't really understand how it worked. They were trying to bribe the individual person that would be carrying out those commands, not understanding that the way I worked was very much like I think, and then they act. There is no possibility for them. It wasn't free will. But in general, on a lower level, people would be like, well, I do what he says and what he wants to be done, and then things get better. It's very much like simplistic, you might say. And besides, like I say, that there's the fact that also is that much of my stuff is literally history for the first time. I mean, if you're with Lucifer or LSF, then you are a part of epic history and basically 100 trillion years in the making. Like a lot of people look at what would come talk to me and say, we do this and we do that, but we're not like you. You're like epic history, like first time forever, like the first time a planet's colonized, like the first time that something's being done on a planet. That's that's LS. First flights, first steps on a planet. I mean, like 100, like 800 galaxies, and life on all of them, and the first life that eventually goes out into the galaxy. Like that was me. So I was more epic. I was epic and legendary before most people were even born, and so yeah, it was one heck of a legacy. First huge colony ship. I was able to do things that people could only dream of. When I came to the table, it's like, let's build a colony ship. I'm like, okay, and we're going to use depleted uranium. Ha ha! And so it's like, most humans would be like, how does he do this? It's like, well, I have exoskeletons and they can withstand heavy amounts of radiation. Like I said, one of my exoskeletons was so tough that you could literally be right next to the sun and he could step outside and go, it feels fine. Yeah, but they don't talk like that. They don't talk. But yeah, the exoskeletons can go, along the surface of the ship, right next to the sun, which would kill most things. Like you can't really get near it without shielding. So anyway, that's what I had. Like I say, they really didn't take me down. What happened was basically I didn't need them anymore. I wasn't doing epic creation anymore. I was retired. So I was like, okay, go ahead, go off. I released them. And they kind of hung around me for a while, and then they eventually went off. And like I said, at some point in time, some psychopath was killing them or trying to kill them, so they had to evacuate even more. And it's like, I'll be fine. You guys go off. Anyway, Earth wasn't safe anymore for my exoskeletons. Earth really isn't safe for me. But, oh well. They wanted to hold me hostage. I don't know what the deal is with the hostage thing. Like, anyway, Rodney was crazy. Originally, when I met him, I was 40 and he was like 20 or 17 or so. Just this young little kid. Anyway, yeah, well, that's, I don't think he really realized I was 100 trillion years old. Most people don't really realize that. Like I said, I never told anyone my age. Because, like I say, when you know someone's age, you know what they got, you know what they're about. And so I didn't tell anyone my age. I usually said I was like 1,000 years old or 4,000 years old, which is basically what humans normally are. Like, that's one of the reasons why I built these two galaxies, was so I could know how much time had passed. Because it's hard to tell time and space. Like, you don't know a year from 100 years. So I built these two galaxies 100 trillion years apart so I could know exactly how much time had passed. Like I say, there's a lot of people that are like, blah, 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 blah. It's funny, like everything I did, everything I do, is epic history and everything else like that. And what people were doing with me was basically just annoyance and just confusing the facts. And pretty much trying to make themselves look good so women will be like, oh, you're so amazing, John McCain. And it's like I said, John McCain didn't have any money. He didn't have anything other than basically a good-looking body. And even that, he needed steroids to get that far.